If your freelancing journey started anything like mine, you are probably slightly less than happy with the way that your life is going. Maybe you are at a job that you don't love. Maybe you are finally working from home, but it's the result of a global pandemic. And you are just constantly overwhelmed and stressed out and wondering if this is it, if this is what the rest of your life's gonna look like. And if you are also like me, you might also be a parent, and it just adds a whole complicated layer to this conversation. So my journey started scrolling through Facebook and seeing an ad for how to become a social media manager. And I was like, well, I'm on social media right now and I'm at work. And I also kind of get paid to do it for my job. So I wonder what this is all about. And I watched a webinar, and that webinar changed my entire life. I ended up investing in a course by Liz Benny, and the rest is history. Now, you might not want anything to do with social media management, and that might not be interesting to you at all, but let's say that you too have seen a webinar or an ad or something that piques your interest about starting a virtual business from home. In this video, I'm going to talk all about how to figure out the in-demand freelancing skill that's going to actually make you happy with the work that you do. So you might think that this video is going to be all about what's going on right now in the freelancing industry. And we can do a little of that too, and that's totally cool. But what I think is actually a more important conversation is what is going to be the in demand, meaning there's a market for it, not just what's the flavor of the month, skill that is going to actually allow you to have a freelancing business that you don't resent in 6 months the same way you resent your employer now, right? And so that's the challenge. So if you want to know in demand, spring Q2 2021, first of all, we just did a video on this at the beginning of the year, so maybe we can link to that here, somewhere in there. But something that's huge, I just got an email in my inbox today about it, is social selling. I'm not talking about network marketing. I'm not talking about MLMs, although sometimes in that industry, they will also use the term social selling. And what they mean is they are selling the products of the company that they're contracted through, that's in this network marketing, multi-level marketing company, and they're selling you stuff, right? There's an element of e-commerce, but in the freelancing sense, what social selling really is having a contract virtual sales team, the same way you would have at any sort of organization that has a sales department, right? So you're getting in the direct messages with people, you're talking to people in Facebook groups or in chat rooms, and you're moving them to a private conversation with the intention of either booking a sales call or selling them through the direct messages. You can also do this with retargeting. And so you're kind of building and nurturing this relationship all through social media. And this has been coined social selling. You're now starting to see courses and certifications and people really leveraging this to teach other people how to do it in a freelance capacity, which is cool because unlike some other freelancing positions, and much like a sales team at a corporation, it's commission based. So what that means for you, if you do like selling, or you're good at it, or you have a background in it, is that you are in charge of your earning potential. There's no ceiling on it. There's no cap if you're working with an organization that is truly giving you a commission off everything that you sell. So that's cool and that's exciting. It's also totally not for everybody. Video and audio are going to continue to grow. So any sort of freelancing that has to do with content creation, content repurposing, video or audio editing, anything in the e-learning space. So we are going to continue to see lots of digital products and courses and kind of this whole knowledge industry where people are being in charge of their education. And I don't want to say it's the demise of colleges and universities. I think that's a bold statement, although they've been impacted by the pandemic, of course. It's really this influx in people realizing that they can learn how to do things on the internet and they can be taught by people who are actually doing them, and that there are very viable careers where you can be self-employed that don't require a degree or a certification. So I can go to a school and I can pay them 40 grand a year and come out and be in debt for the rest of my life and get a mediocre job paying me $50,000 a year. Or I can drop $500 to $5,000 on a course and coaching program, come out with a very tangible skill, be employed by myself and in charge of my earning potential and grow from there. And I think more and more, that changed my life. It also changed the way that I feel about the status quo and formal education. And I think more and more people are going to see that. And so as a freelancer, if you want to be looking at in-demand skills, what are all of the things that go into this knowledge industry? What are the things that you could be doing? So if we think about it, from A to Z, it's like, well, we need traffic. So Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, any sort of paid traffic is going to be an in-demand industry always. As long as there's paid advertisements, there will be businesses who want to spend money to acquire customers. So that's at the front end. Then we've got like the actual offer, and that could be website or funnel design. That could be copywriting, that could be, video editing, that could be a lot of different things. And then we've got the back end. So we've got the actual delivery of the product or service, so that, we've got email marketing and the actual implementation through software of courses and customer service and tech support and billing and all the things, right? And so if we look at how we think about an in-demand skill, and we think about it from the perspective of what industries are growing, what problems do they have, and then where can I fit in with my skill sets, it gets really exciting, right? But let's go back to what I said earlier. I've had a lot of students. In fact, I've had over 4,700 students in the last 3.5 years. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. And a lot of people think of this idea of finding a niche or figuring out what's in demand or what they see people asking for help with consistently on social media, which more often than not is something social media related. And we start to tell ourselves this story, right? Of like, well, nobody's looking for this thing I really want to do, or this thing I'm already qualified to do. Everybody's looking for XYZ. I would argue that's not really true. People always need a bookkeeper because we always have to pay taxes and do our accounting. That's an annual thing, right? People will always hire a virtual assistant. I think it's where are you looking? Who are you looking for? But and so what happens, and where I've seen a lot of people end up unhappy, is they start their freelancing business, and instead of looking for the thing that they want to be doing, it's something that they're interested in. It's something that when they're learning about it doesn't feel like learning. It feels fun. Like you can totally geek out on it, even though other people don't get it. And really, who cares what other people think anyway? Like you get in the zone, you find yourself in flow, you look back at your life and like the clues were there all along, right? Like maybe you've had a journal since you were 9 and you got A's all through English class, but like, you signed up for a bookkeeping course and then you realize like copywriting is a thing and you're like, oh yeah, like I've been writing my whole life. Like instead of just looking for the in-demand thing, like, yes, we need to make sure there's a market for it. Are people paying for the service you want to provide? That's important, right? And then how do we connect with those people? But what's most important to make sure you're actually going to have a business you love is, are you in alignment and are your strengths in alignment with the service that you're providing? Think of a Venn diagram, like where they all overlap. You know what I'm talking about? Can we go back to elementary school? And it's like, what are the things I like to do? And what are the things I'm good at doing? And where is there a demand in the marketplace? And the sweet spot of your business is when all of those things overlap. But here's what's really cool, and why we have Free Mama TV, and why I make these videos, and why I'm so vocal about freelancing, especially for moms, because it can literally change your entire life and your family's life, is you don't know what you don't know. Meaning the thing, the service, the business you're supposed to have, the thing you want to provide, you might not even know that it exists yet. Like, you maybe haven't heard of it. And I know for my own sake, like I started freelancing as a social media manager. Like I told you at the beginning, like I found this webinar and I was like, I can do that. And so I started doing that. And there were parts of it that I loved, but there were parts that I didn't. And also every step that I took led me to the next thing. And so I ended up meeting this really cool person, and she needed somebody in kind of an assistant capacity, but like she already had a virtual assistant, which to be fair, I'd never even heard of at the time. Long story short, I ended up working with her as an online business manager for years. And it wasn't until like the last 6 months that I worked with her that I had ever even heard the term online business manager, because we don't know what we don't know. So all that to say, when we think about what are the in-demand freelancing skills, yes, What's popular right now? What are industries looking for? What are companies actively hiring for? Because there's always going to be a flavor of the month. And how can you build a sustainable, long-term career out of being a virtual service provider and actually love the stuff that you get to do? And for that, we've got to do the deeper stuff. You've got to tap into, what do you actually like? What are you good at? And for some of us, we got to get over ourselves. Like, it's easy to sit here and be like, well, I'm not good at anything, but you are. You are. And look to your past, ask your friends and family. The clues are there, I promise you. And don't be afraid to pick the wrong thing and switch as your awareness increases and you learn about stuff that maybe you didn't know was a thing before. So if you're struggling with where to start, if this whole freelancing world is brand new to you and you too don't know what you don't know, or you're struggling with thinking that you aren't cut out for freelance work or for starting a virtual business, I have a list of not just 70, but we've actually upped it to over 99 services that you can provide entrepreneurs right now. They're all in demand. I promise you, people are hiring for them every single day. I literally get emails every single day and DMs and all the things from my peers about somebody that they're looking to outsource to. And so we've compiled this master list and you can download that totally for free down below this video. My suggestion is take a pen and a marker to it. Like, cross out the stuff that's off the list. Like, just draw a big line through it. Like, I am not doing that. That doesn't interest me. Like, highlight the things that are interesting, but like maybe you don't know how to do them yet, and circle the low hanging fruit. What do you already know how to do? And don't be afraid to just get the ball rolling. Like I said, like, just get some wins, get some money coming in, start your business and see what opportunities come your way. If you are looking for support so that you're not navigating this alone, make sure you come hang out with us inside the free Mama Facebook group. Let me know if you're liking these unscripted videos, these raw behind the scenes, Lauren hanging out on her couch. Look, I'm wearing real pants today. By the way, you don't have to do that if you're a freelancer. If you're liking these videos, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and any other questions you have. Everything we do here on Free Mama TV and over on my podcast, Free Mama Radio, is literally for you. So if you're not giving us feedback, if you're not posting in the group your questions, we don't know what else to produce to help you. So help us help you. Have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. I just want you to know that home videos are hard. My dog's crawling all over me. So we're going to have lots of outtakes. We got Siri eavesdropping. Oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought. Dang it. I'm going to have to go back and watch what I was saying.